Hello everyone, this is Kenta from Land Design. In the previous video, we spent 3 days demolition and tidy up the garden after construction started and ended on the 4th day while we were tidy up the garden stones using small heavy equipment. This video is a continuation of that, so please check out the previous video if you'd like. Now let's take a look at the work continuation from day 4. First, we dig under the stone so we can hang the wire. From now on, it will not be possible to move the stone with this heavy equipment alone, so we will be working with a chain hoist. After construction began, I knew that this garden had been created by the client's predecessor when they were building a new house. And the original garden had a pond. It was later renovated and filled with land. More time has passed, and this time I am doing renovation work. Even when removing the stones, there was concrete left over from the pond, making it difficult to attach wires. We finally got the wire through, but the length was short and the work condition was bad, so we decided to lift the stone once and then replace it. Nowadays, cranes are the mainstream for moving heavy objects, so the length of the wire is not critical. When working with this tool, we need careful as the range of adjustment is limited. Tap it to tighten the wire so it doesn't come loose. There are various names in Japan, but we call the wire loop a hebikuchi. Hebi means snake and kuchi meaning mouth. Many of the names of Japanese old tools are derived from animals or plants. leveling the road for Move the Stones. We discuss the location and proceed with the work. Now that the preparations are complete, we move the stones. This time we're using a construction method called korohiki, which involves laying logs under stones and rolling them. This is an ancient construction method that you may have seen in movies, but it is still valued today. If a crane can be installed, it will not be necessary, so we rarely have the opportunity to do korohiki, so we do not prepare any special tools. This time, we are using scrap materials from the bamboo fence and wood deck from the previous as substitutes. It's a simple work that progresses little by little, but it gives me a pleasant sense of tension and thrill, so my favorite job surprisingly. Before placing the moved stones, we will prepare a temporary stone storage area and dig up nearby trees. In this construction, the new garden will basically consist of only the trees and stones that are already in the garden, so we will have to transplant as many usable garden trees as possible and use up all the garden stones without disposing of them. I think many people don't have a good impression of garden rocks. If carefully planned and place it according to garden, stones do not grow, so they do not require maintenance, or rather, grass will not grow where stones are placed. In addition, it gives garden a sense of solidity that cannot be created with plants alone. So I think it very attractive. Although Japan is a country prone to earthquakes, but it is blessed with stones and has many different types of stones. I think it is against this background that the Japanese garden culture that uses stones flourished. We will also prepare the site where the plants were dug so that stones can be placed there. This time there were a lot of stones compared to the area of the garden, so it was important to have enough space to work. The removed stones have concrete from the pond attached to them, so we will need to be careful not to show them when we reinstall them. After that, it was just the right time, so we had lunch.
ダイエット弁当あれお金じゃないよそこまでベストイックじゃないよご飯食べさせてよお金お腹つまめるかなたこ揚げんだよ
Now that we have a workspace, we will resume moving this stone in the afternoon. I am planning to install this stone around the tsukubai in front of the Japanese style room, so now change direction and move. We remove the chain block once, as it will get in the way when moving the stone. This time I will be putting on and taking off a lot, so I used a small chain hoist to make the replacement work easier, but it would be too heavy load, so I would actually prefer a more larger size. We were able to move it, but the road was still narrow to move large heavy equipment into the back, so the chain block comes into use again. We change the position of the wire and place it further back. Once get used to using this tool, we'll be able to move stones freely. This is dangerous work, so we work in a safe position, even if something happens. When it was buried, only the surface was visible, but when we lifted it up, it was a very impressive stone.
こういうところで怪我するんだよね、滑って。青さん思い出すでしょ。
Finally, move the stones and plants near the entrance. Preparations for bringing in large heavy machinery is will complete.
Naるほどね。来すぎよ。そりゃあっちに決まってるよ、そんなの。
どうやったの？
いやいやいや、水がなくなるだけだよ、ただ。そんな燃焼効率変わんねえべ。
それで帰った後のビールがうまいんじゃん。
ビールの価値を高めてんのじゃあ。
そうよ。
無理して。
そうよ。そうよ。
やめてほしいよ、あれ。あ、チェプロでやるか。無理でしょ、これじゃ。そうだね。
We just want to move this stone a little to the right, so we don't do the korohiki as before. Usually the chain is not supposed to be this hard, but since the chain hoist is small, it doesn't have enough force, so it becomes like this.
払ったもん。そことか来てるんだこれ。来てない来てない。ちょっとめっちゃ豪華でもういたら。ちょっとチェーン持ってもらうとできた。はい。
Finished moving the stones, we went home to prepare for the next day. Today of the 5th day, I will be working alone again. I will prepare buried items such as electricity and water supply. First of all, we will prepare to make the tsukubai that will be made in front of the Japanese-style room and the wall fountain that will be made in front of the Western-style room from the current water supply. Finish preparing like this. In preparation for future work, I will remove the wiring from the existing garden lights. And then, in order to move even larger stones, made an improvised trident using logs. I went home on this day because I had to dispose of garbage and prepare for tomorrow. Today of the 6th day, we were working with large heavy equipment. Then the other day, my senior Mr. Sato come again and we will work together today. Finally, from today, Ishigumi stone arrangement begins. However, we don't have the space. We will have to Ishigumi while remove and tidy up it. First thing in the morning, we brought in the heavy equipment. In the case of this house, there is a gate at the entrance and regular heavy equipment cannot get through, so we asked a heavy machinery shop to remove the roof and transport it. First we go inside. Working with him is the most fun and keeps my mind sharp, so I always ask him to help me create a garden that I really want to focus on. This stone was so heavy that it was difficult to move it even with this heavy equipment. It's a bit of a forceful work, which is not desirable, but I forced it to move stone like this. Now that we can move the stones and work on them, we will finish the Ishigumi in the back first. In this way, we work while observing the expression of the stones and the balance of the entire garden. Some people may think it's here difficult to make stones when they see stone. But what I do is design, not abstract production. So I think it's the same as choosing clothes and tableware while fun. When I hit a stone that feels difficult, I judge it by comparing it to geometric shapes such as circles and squares like tableware. The work in the back was progress like this. After that, we enjoyed our lunch today too. In the afternoon, we will be digging up garden trees called inumaki to be transplanted. Due to exports, aging of the producers, lack of successors, etc., just like Japanese art, the number of authentic stone objects such as garden trees and stone lanterns is decreasing. I think this garden tree called inumaki will become even more difficult to obtain eventually. The same goes for stone lanterns, but even garden creator like us cannot plant non-existent trees, and we cannot freely increase the number of branches and leaves without spending many years. So a good material producer is essential to a Japanese garden. We are working on digging up this tree in order to move it now. While digging the soil, we cut the long roots to make them easier to transport. By shaking the trunk, we can see where the roots are, so use that as we dig. It seems like all the roots we cut out. From now on, we will take care of this, prepare to move it. But I would like to continue this in the next video. Thank you for watching until the end. What did you think after watching the video? As a gardener living in today's globalized world, I want as many people as possible to learn about the traditions and fun of this work. If you think the video is good, I would appreciate it if you could give it a high rating, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment if you have any thoughts. See you in the next video.